The story begins with a man stepping out of a car. As soon as he gets out, he's attacked and killed. His young daughter is waiting with the door open, expecting her dad to arrive. Instead, she witnesses his murder, and the killer, Juku, seeing the child's horrified face, is overcome with guilt. The scene shifts, and Juku wakes up startled. It was just a dream. But it wasn't just any dream. This memory of the incident has haunted him ever since, replaying in his mind every night. His life has been full of regret and unrest ever since that day. The focus now moves to a powerful politician named Mitima. Though not yet president, he wields enough influence to control the military for his own interests. Currently, he's running for office, but there's a problem. Someone named Johnny has evidence of Matima's corrupt dealings. Johnny, who once worked for him, has now become a threat. Mitima informs the National Security Agency about Johnny and orders Senior Officer Mo to capture him, dead or alive. Mo sends soldiers to Johnny's house, but he's already gone. Frustrated, Mo seeks help from Gemini, an IT expert in their department. She instructs Gemini to locate Johnny by tapping into the city's CCTV network. Meanwhile, Johnny is shown hiding in a hotel room. He knows Mitima is after him and decides to take action. He contacts a journalist whose career was ruined by Mitima. Over the phone, Johnny tells the reporter, "If you want revenge, now's your chance. I have all the evidence against him." He sends some files to the reporter, urging him to protect them at all costs. We return to Juku, who is leading a quiet life now. He drops his son off at school and spends time with his wife in the market before heading to work at a small bike repair shop. He's left his past behind and is focused on his family. At the same time, Gemini successfully traces Johnny's location. Soldiers are sent to the hotel to capture him. Spotting them, Johnny escapes in his car, leading to a high-speed chase. Despite having the chance to kill him, the soldiers hold back. They need Johnny alive to erase the evidence he holds. Johnny drives to Juku's shop, desperate for help. Johnny pleads with Juku to rejoin the mission, insisting that their fight against Mitima is bigger than personal concerns. But Juku refuses, fearing for his family's safety. Johnny tries to convince him, saying, "They're already watching you because of me. This mission is too important to abandon now." Before leaving, Johnny hugs Juku and secretly slips a tracking device into his pocket. "You're my last hope," he tells him. "I can't do this anymore. It's up to you." Johnny drives away, but the soldiers catch up. Trapped on a broken bridge, he abandons his car and faces them. Before they can interrogate him, Johnny leaps to his death. His demise is witnessed through surveillance by Gemini, who is visibly shaken. It's revealed that Gemini had been secretly aiding Johnny's group all along, and his death hits her hard. Mo, however, orders Gemini to track down Juku. Juku, unaware of the soldiers closing in, realizes his family might be in danger. He calls his wife, tells her he'll be away for a few days, and heads to the airport. There, he retrieves something hidden in a locker, but is quickly apprehended by soldiers. They interrogate him, but Juku fights back and escapes. Avoiding his usual bike to stay off the radar, Juku makes his way back to his shop on foot, determined to figure out his next move. Yugo retrieves items from the airport locker, a map with a marked location. He returns to his shop, grabs a new bike, and begins his journey. Meanwhile, Mo, unable to track him, resorts to kidnapping Yugo's family. She interrogates Yugo's wife, trying to uncover his connection with Johnny. However, Yugo's wife knows nothing about his past life. Frustrated, Mitima summons Mo and warns her of the consequences of failure. He threatens to expose Mo's father, revealing evidence that during the racial conflicts of the past, Mo's father secretly supported the white side in exchange for bribes. This forces Mo to intensify her efforts to find Yugo. Later that night, Yugo contacts Gemini, demanding answers about Johnny and the mission. Gemini hesitates, but finally reveals the truth. Johnny is dead. The news devastates Yugo, as Johnny had been like a father to him. To make matters worse, Gemini informs him that Mo has kidnapped his family. Yugo, enraged, plans to return immediately, but Gemini insists he continue the mission, promising to rescue his family. The next day, Mo learns that Yugo stole a bike from his workshop. She publishes a wanted ad in the newspaper, labeling him a bike thief. While Yugo stops at a fuel station, the attendant recognizes him and contacts the security agency. Back at the agency, Gemini approaches Yugo's wife, assuring her that Yugo sent her to help. But as she leaves, another agent overhears and reports Gemini's betrayal to Mo. Mo orders Gemini's arrest. When officers attempt to capture her, Gemini fights back, breaking free. She rushes to Yugo's wife's room and urges her to escape. Together, they flee to an unfinished building, cornered on the rooftop with no safe way down. Gemini insists Yugo's wife jump with her. Scared but left with no choice, Yugo's wife jumps, but she slips and falls to her death despite Gemini's efforts to save her. Meanwhile, Yugo notices soldiers blocking the road ahead. Rather than flee, he devises a plan. Spotting an oil container nearby, he shoots at it, triggering a massive explosion that scatters the soldiers. Taking advantage of the chaos, Yugo speeds away on his bike. However, the mission's head, Tiger, begins chasing him in a helicopter. As the helicopter approaches, Yugo stops his bike and fires at it repeatedly, damaging it enough to force it to retreat. With the danger temporarily behind him, Yugo hides his bike in the bushes and searches for a place to rest. From a distance, he spots a camp where Tiger's men are stationed. Yugo waits patiently until nightfall and then launches a surprise attack, eliminating the soldiers one by one. Only Tiger remains. He confronts Yugo, leading to a fierce hand-to-hand battle. Yugo initially gains the upper hand, but Tiger fights back, eventually stabbing Yugo in the stomach. Gravely injured, Yugo refuses to give up. Summoning his remaining strength, he overpowers Tiger. Instead of killing Tiger, Yugo spares him and rushes toward the helicopter. At gunpoint, he forces the pilot to take off and flies to his destination. Once there, he lands the helicopter some distance away, releases the pilot, and expresses his gratitude. After walking for some time, Yugo collapses from exhaustion. Luckily, a group of people finds him unconscious in the bushes. They take him in and treat his wounds. It turns out these people are part of his old group, allies who are still fighting against Matima's corruption. After a couple of days, Yugo fully recovers. They lead him to a hidden site where supplies for his mission are stored. Digging the ground, Yugo retrieves a safe filled with cash, critical information, and evidence against Matima. The villagers encourage Yugo to complete his mission and send him off with their blessings. As he prepares to leave, Yugo gets a call from Gemini's phone. However, it's Mo on the other end, threatening him. She demands the evidence and taunts him with the news that his wife is dead. Enraged, Yugo cuts the call and focuses on his mission. Yugo then contacts the reporter Johnny had asked him to meet, the same man whose career Matima had destroyed. They arrange a meeting where Yugo hands over the evidence, asking the reporter to expose Matima but also help him rescue his son first. The reporter agrees. Together, they track down Gemini, who is hiding after Mo's betrayal. When Yugo confronts Gemini, he's furious and accuses her of failing to protect his family. Gemini explains that she did her best, but couldn't prevent what happened. Though still upset, Yugo understands it wasn't her fault. He asks for help finding his son. Using her skills, Gemini discovers that Matima is keeping Yugo's son at his estate. Under the cover of night, Yugo infiltrates Matima's heavily guarded mansion. Using stealth, he takes down the guards one by one. Inside, he overpowers Matima and ties him up. When Matima regains consciousness, Yugo demands to know where his son is. Instead of cooperating, Matima threatens Yugo, saying that any harm to him will result in his son's death. Unfazed, Yugo calls Mo using Matima's phone and orders her to bring his son. With no other choice, Matima tells Mo to comply. As they wait, Matima tries to bribe Yugo, offering him wealth and power in exchange for his freedom. Yugo coldly refuses, condemning Matima for betraying his people and causing widespread suffering. Suddenly, gunfire erupts outside. Yugo realizes Matima has summoned reinforcements. Led by Tiger, the soldier Yugo had spared earlier. Armed with his training and determination, Yugo grabs his weapon and fights his way through the attackers. One by one, the soldiers fall until only Tiger remains. Yugo confronts Tiger in hand-to-hand combat. The fight is brutal, but Yugo ultimately gains the upper hand. Just as he's about to finish Tiger, Mo arrives, holding Yugo's son at gunpoint. She demands Yugo hand over the documents and let Tiger go, threatening to kill his son otherwise. Yugo raises his hands in surrender, telling Mo he no longer has the documents. They've already been shared with the press and will be revealed to the world. Frustrated, Matima, who has managed to untie himself during the chaos, orders Mo to kill Yugo to prove her loyalty. But Mo, realizing Matima's downfall is inevitable, turns her gun on him instead and shoots him dead. Before Mo can shoot Yugo, a loud gunshot rings out. Mo falls to the ground, killed by Gemini, who has arrived just in time. Tiger, still standing, attempts to attack Yugo, but Gemini quickly takes him down with another shot. With the enemies defeated and the corrupt leaders gone, Yugo takes his son and Gemini to safety. The next day, Yugo decides to leave the city with his son to start a new life. Though he is haunted by the loss of his wife, he holds her memory close to his heart as he moves forward.